Hi YouTube, it's Kalandra. This is video number 14, I think, out of my 30 video challenge for the month of July that was given to us by Erin at Scandalous Beauty. So we're almost halfway through. I don't know if I'm going to make it to 30, but I'm pretty sure I will make it to 20, which was my original commitment. So this is video number 14. My channel is called This and That with Kalandra, and I've been spending a lot of time doing beauty videos and beauty hauls, so I thought I would kind of go back to some of my original vlogging that I did when I first started this channel. I think back in, wow, 2009 I think, or 2010 was my first video. I don't remember. But close to 400 subscribers later, here I am. So, back to This and That with Kalandra. Today's video is not going to be a top 5 in 5. Those of you who have been following my video challenges, or my video challenge videos, know that one of the things that I've done is my top 5 in 5 minutes. So, I think it's going to take me a little longer than 5 minutes, but not too much longer. Today, since it's the summertime, it's getting hot outside, I thought I would talk about, I'm going to go back down memory lane, which those of you who know me best know that I love to reminisce and think about things from when I was growing up, whether it's music or just some of the fun stuff that we did, things in my childhood. So today I want to talk about my 5 favorite memories of summer, and some of these you're going to be like, okay, and what's the difference? But these are my 5 favorite memories of summer. So I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget. So my first favorite memory of summer, my dad worked at night and my mom worked in the daytime. My sister was older, so she was kind of working and doing her own thing. So I was home during the day in the summertime with my dad. And we would go out just about every day. Daddy would come home, in the middle of the night from the post office, and he'd sleep for a couple of hours. And then after my mom left for work, he would get up, he would give me breakfast, and we would go out somewhere, just whether it was to the store or he'd take me to the mall or we'd just walk around. I think Daddy just liked getting out of the house. And so that was really fun. We would hang out, then we would actually do stuff sometimes. My father was a bowler, so we would go to the bowling alley. He taught me how to bowl. I would just watch him, and I was clearly a daddy's girl, and so just hanging out with him every day, hoping we wouldn't be going home soon, was just really cool, and I really liked hanging out with him during the day. And one thing I do remember, Daddy had a big Cadillac with hot leather seats, and your legs are in the shorts and they're sticking to the leather. Ugh, that was not a good memory, but it's a memory nonetheless. The second thing I remember, which was probably the biggest part of my summer experience as a kid, were our road trips. We would get in the car and go south. My father's parents lived in Virginia. They lived in Richmond. It was like a 7-hour drive. I can remember going to bed at night and waking up in Richmond because they would just pack my sister and I in the car in the middle of the night when my dad came home from work, and we would just drive down to Virginia, and I would wake up and we'd be pulling up in front of my grandparents' house. So that was always fun. And then when my dad couldn't get vacation with my mother would pack my sister and I up, and we would drive to Florida. We'd go to Disney World. It would take us a few days. We'd stop at, the Holiday Inn Motel in Georgia, or stop at one in North Carolina, all these different places, packing up the chicken and the Ritz crackers and the Kool-Aid and having the triptych from AAA was just fun, the whole road trip experience, and I loved it when I was growing up. And then going to Florida, going to Disney World, it was just a lot of fun. Then there was going to North Carolina. I had an aunt in Asheville, North Carolina, driving up in the mountains. I remember every time we went there, it was like stormy weather. There would be thunderstorms, and down there, you in the South, those of you who have family from the South know when there's thunderstorms and lightning, you hit the deck, you sit on the floor, you don't sit in front of the door, you don't sit in front of the windows, you can't watch television, you got to shut the lights down because it's just, that was straight old school. That was not a happy memory, but a memory nonetheless. So what I like about the road trips is that we kind of recreated that a couple of years ago, and we took the kids to Florida to see my mom, and we drove down in 2 days, and they had a lot of fun, and we're going to do it again in another couple of weeks, and I'm hoping that it will go just as smoothly as it did the last time, but we'll see. The third memory that I have kind of goes along the line of the road trips when we would drive to Georgia or Florida for our family reunions, and just seeing all my cousins, learning the new dances, because of course we did dances up north that they didn't do down south, or we did the same dances and they did it a little differently. That was just so much fun hanging out with my cousins. By the end of the weekend, though, we were kind of all sick of each other, and I think we were ready to go back home. But one of the things I remember about my family, I have a lot of relatives in Florida. My mom's from Florida, and we would go to Jacksonville and we would eat crabs. And I remember my cousin, the little ones would be in the living room on the floor with the big box fan because it was hot down there, and we would have newspaper spread over the floor, and we would eat blue crabs and just cracking and eating and talking and playing games and playing cards and dancing and just all those things. You know, with all this videos and computers and stuff, families don't really have that kind of time anymore, and I think that we need to kind of go back to doing fun stuff like that. The fourth thing that I have, my favorite memory of summer, is our house was on the corner, and I actually still live in the house that I grew up in. Our house was on the corner, and all the kids in my neighborhood were around my sister's age, and my sister's a little older than I am, and so I was like the baby on the block, and everybody would hang out on our porch because we lived on the corner, and my sister was, you know, she was the cool girl, so everybody would hang out at night on our porch. You know, people are riding their bikes over to the corner and, you know, just hanging out and listening to music. And I remember my mother, you know, having to call out the window sometimes for them to turn it down. But just as a little kid, being able to hang out with the older kids and just sit there and watch them talk and laugh and joke on each other, that was a lot of fun. Good summer memories. Even now, sometimes when there's a little breeze coming through at night, I kind of reminisce about those days and how we would be, I would always say, you know, this is one of those nights we'd be sitting on the porch with the neighborhood. And my fifth memory of summer is looking forward to going back to school. Because I missed my friends. I think all the way up through high school, I think I looked forward to going back to school, the first day of school. Because you know why? You had new clothes, you had new shoes, you wanted to talk about what movies you saw over the summer, you wanted to talk about where you went. So I always looked forward to like the first week of school. So that was one of my favorite summer memories. So I hope you were able to take this walk with me down memory lane. Please feel free to comment. Tell me what some of your summer memories were. I hope you enjoyed video number 14. All right, we're halfway through. Take care, YouTube.